sign. All right, Kate. Good one. You take lead. That's really...
Yes, of course. Everything but the treasure was trapped. How silly of me to assume otherwise. A man told a tall tale about the fish he caught. How novel.
All the years we heard that story, and half of it was a lie. We thought Ampara just left. Part of me wishes I still did.
Thank Aethys. I thought you'd never come out of there. I've been waiting for ages. Uncle Capo taught me a thing or two about how to survive. It's why he's always so... No, I can't get distracted. This is too important. Listen to me. I came to find you as soon as I heard what my uncle asked you to do. I just wanted you to meet him, not go on one of his stupid escapades. What do you think? You have to put the heart back. Or take it away. Whatever you do, don't give it to him. A fraud? What? What are you talking about? Why wouldn't he mention her? That's nonsense. Every Leviathan hunter knows the risks. Oh, gods. People think my uncle is the greatest hero they've ever had. He's the spirit of Thirdborn. If that gets out, what do we do? We can't tell anyone. All right, I trust your judgment. But what about the heart? You can't give it to him. You just can't. No, it's not. Apparently, if you grind a fossilized Leviathan heart and mix it with wine, it becomes a poison. I found his notes on it. I think that's what he wants it for. I know he hasn't been himself lately, but I never thought he'd want to do something like this. He won't play Azatoa with me. He won't go out on walks with me anymore. He kept saying he didn't want to go out without being himself. I thought he meant leaving the house. You've got to put a stop to it. Any way you know how.
The wolf eats the hemlock. What suffering could be so great?
It couldn't be. It wouldn't be. He's not soulless or mindless. Not like those people at the gates. He's still himself. Whatever it is, it can't be worth dying for. If I can't change your mind, then I'm going to get the Tiranui. Maybe he can stop my uncle. I'll be there as soon as I can. I will. I'll see you soon.
Good fighting.
Welcome to Shatterscar. Or, welcome to Shark's Teeth, anyway. Damn. I didn't think you'd actually talk to someone like me. Oh! Well, I hope I'm not imposing on you. Listen, I've got to take some supplies to that tower up the road. They're for Kotoa and Hayako. Have you heard of them?
Kotoa and Hayako? If they need supplies, they must be planning something good.
They've probably killed more dream thralls than the rest of us combined. Well, they said, why shoot one when you could take out a dozen instead? They learned from the best in the Deadfire. We're lucky they're on our side. These supplies will go a long way if I can ever get them up there. This is my third trip today, and whew, it's a lot of stairs. You do that? You're a lifesaver! Keep going through the teeth. The tower is just over the ridge. You can't miss it.
I used to patrol out here. Swore I'd never come back. Tama lost his badge near here.
Time for payback.
That's Thomas' badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. It sure is. It reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. It was sunburn on your top half and chafing on your bottom half, but yeah, those were good days. And Tama, he'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were going to collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He was the best I ever knew. Coming back here was a mistake. I don't know what we're doing here. Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. Yeah. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing, no glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. Then you get it. To an old trencher like him, that badge meant belonging, honor. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. I never thought I'd tell this story again. But there's something about the way you've led us, the clarity you've kept. Something about you that inspires confidence. Kind of like well, thanks. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. There's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Thomas. It's time I said goodbye. It's the least he deserves. Especially after... Never mind. Let's go.
Justice. Serves you right for ignoring a man in need.
Over there.
Envoy! Thank the gods you came through.
Oh, I'm no healer, but that looks painful.
Some sneaky bastard put a dart trap in front of that door. Have you got any healing skills? A potion? I'm begging you. Gods. Oh, that's a relief. Now I can get back to Eagle's Reach. Damn Thirdborn. Damn everything. Don't I know it now?
It's a wonder that an Adiran scout is all the way out here.
Captain Weemgar wanted us to see what kind of shape the tower was in. Thought we could use it. The trap's got the others, though. So much for that idea. Whoever did it is probably out there planning their next move. You've got to finish this. Root them out. Thanks. I will.
That was too easy. Careful. There's bound to be something waiting for us. God. Are you breathing? With enemies. Well, we didn't take our chances with that.
Hard pressed to take it from us without losing another dozen. That's all we can ask for. If we hold them off long enough for Temerity to see Adir's true intent... Look alive, Hayako. The wind's blown us more Adiran company.
Stop! Take one more step and mark my words, I'll cut you down.
Stand down, Hayako. There's clearly been a misunderstanding.
Kai? Gods, what are you doing up here? And with an Adiran, what's going on? Wait, who sent you?
Owapo. Oh, gods. He must think he's helping us. That fool. I told him to stay home. This is our fight, not his.
Well, he did just deliver the Adiran envoy straight to us. Maybe he's worth his salt.
I'm starting to see why Moapo left out so many details.
Adir is the real scourge in the living lands. They want this tower to control the route to Thirdborn. We've watched your people sink their claws into Eagle's Reach. They'll take this route with guile if they can't take it by the sword.
You two are chumming the waters you're swimming in. You'll bring trouble to everyone in Thirdborn.
Katoa, enough. Let's kill her and be done with it. That should send a message all the way to Paradise.
Kutapao. You what? Those took ages to set up. Now I've got to do it all again?
I'll help you. But first, we need to get rid of this loose end. If you don't kill her, I will.
We'll give you one last chance. Leave or die. We'll only warn you once.
Oh, and you know about defending territory, do you? Don't you dare use that young man to make a point.
She's trying to sympathize with us. When Andra sends a boon, it's best not to question it.
I don't like any of this, but fine. One chance. Do I make myself clear?
We'll clear out of this tower, but one whiff of Adiran stink, and we'll be back. And don't think this means we trust you.
We'll remove the traps, for now. Call it a gesture of good faith.
We should get started, Moakua. And you, Envoy, watch your step.
Isok Sogu!
Unseen, unheard.
Dream scourge is getting worse. First our land, then our animals. Now our people. If we don't put a stop to it, we're looking at the end of the living lands. I keep trying, and the world keeps punishing me for it. As if the dream scourge wasn't enough of a problem, the Adherents are profiting off our misfortune. They haven't come to help us. They're here to exploit our weakness. Try not to admire her too much. She is, after all, a monster. It's too bad. We're fighting for our lives, our souls, and our freedom. I don't know if we can win all three. You really think so? My apologies for acting cynical, but it feels as if nature, politics, and even the very gods are working against us. I don't appreciate being backed into a corner, but here I am. Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatsli. In many ways, Quilichi has been like a second father to me. But Yatsli, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good. Oh, she's an expert in that field. While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins? She's a smart one. I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. You too.
Listening to Yatsli's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else. Well, don't you think it's a little convenient? You need to go somewhere no one ever goes, and here she is to show you the way? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway. Right. What do you need? Right. Changing the subject. You too.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. With how overwrought you Adirans can be, I expected at least some tacky rugs. But as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. I mean, my arm wasn't the only casualty. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Nightmares are still dreams, envoy. Just not ones you'd recommend to others. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
That's one use for rigging.
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Katoa and Hayako. An interesting pair. Despite their clumsy methods, they were just defending their community. I'm grateful that you showed restraint. That is more understanding than most of your countrymen. I only bring it up because people are growing wary of your empire. With good reason. When they take their anger out on you, don't judge them too harshly. We all make mistakes. Anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. Not before I've done some reading.
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place. Well, that's what I'm trying to nail down. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller? Then you get it. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars. Me too. Being back. It felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death. Yeah, but I thought age was supposed to bring wisdom. Something to balance out the back pains and creaky knees. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temerity's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving? For a while, I suppose. Eventually, you need more. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. You released Igwolf, but you didn't stop the Steel-Garot's attack on Fjord. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? That kind of clarity is rare. Your Emperor's lucky to have you. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. The story goes that a lot of the first arrivals were Rawatayans without other prospects, too low on the ladder to take over the family trade, too poor to learn another. Exactly. Rawatai's an inhospitable environment, to say the least, so my people have a proud tradition of seeking our fortunes elsewhere. The Rawatai's got a big navy that always needs fresh blood, and there are plenty of opportunities for large, colorful mercenaries and bodyguards all over Aora. Of course not. We've also got poets, artisans, scholars, traders, you name it, just like anywhere else. But they're not the ones who built Thirdborn. It started as a convenient harbor for pirates and mercs to lie low. Bold, or desperate, fishing crews from Rawatai would follow seasonal catches out here. That tells you something about the people willing to attempt it. Over time, those early arrivals built huts, a proper harbor, and walls to protect them from all the hungry things in the desert. Well, that brought in a steady trickle of veterans, ruffians, trophy hunters, and rugged eccentrics. People looking for fresh adventure, or running from the consequences of their old ones. Your words, not mine. Where to start? It's a huge desert full of sandy wastes, canyons, and highlands. On a clear day, you can stand at one of the overlooks to gaze straight across the Great Sand Sea and see no end to the dunes. Yeah, it's dangerous and stark. A lot like Rawatai, but in a different way. Sandstorms instead of typhoons. Guess that's part of what I liked about it. Familiar, but different. I've got a lot of memories here. And the longer I stayed away, the harder it felt to come back. Until you came along, I thought I'd be able to avoid it forever. Thirdborn's missing a lot of familiar faces. And the youngsters who've grown up and the new arrivals, they seem green. Like they're cut from a different cloth, a more delicate one.
This plague is tearing everything apart at the seams. Healing may take years, if not generations.
Maybe you're both right. Thirdborn's only survived because the people were tougher than the wilds. I just hope the people living behind those walls know how to keep them standing. If you can believe it. Right. I didn't think it was possible to talk them down, but you managed it. And you say more than their foolish hides. Those two fought for Rawatai in the Deadfire. They learned how to disrupt enemy movements and destroy supply lines. They'd have nipped and poked at your comrades at Eagle's Reach until Adir finally snapped back. At Thirdborn, most likely. All while the two of them remained secure and defended in their tower. Yeah. The problem is, when you go looking, you're bound to find one. Thirdborn's under threat. But if loose cannons like them fire at everything that moves, they'll draw even more trouble to our walls.
They lash out like cornered animals, giving the Steel-Garot a reason to fight back. Not that they need a reason.
Still, better not to give them one. Do you really think any amount of chest thumping would turn away Ludwig and the Steel Garrote? Or the full force of the Adiran army if it came to that? The Living Lands is changing. We've got more ships coming to port every year. If it's not Adir, it'll be someone. Shake the sand out of your bedroll before you settle in.
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders. How come the answers are never in a little oasis with shade and drink service? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway. Pleasant dreams. I doubt my soul.
Seeds of change, their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe. The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will bring the stillness and the bird song. The dam falls. The river returns to its source. It is how the land was and should always be. We want all of them gone, We wish for life to flourish again. Efforts paid in blood, they lie to the earth, to themselves. Death nourishes the soil. All things come from the rot. The spider devours her mate to lay her eggs. We ponder, dream of shifting sands now. We will speak again.
back, all right? Aye, thanks.
Watch the left. Your armor's too weak here.
Onward, watch your left.
Time to rally. One for you! What happened to traps and hired goons?
I hadn't had a chance to see all this before. It's magnificent. Come on, let's go introduce ourselves to its originators.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
This is it. Ringrim was definitely here.
So, why couldn't you just put that on a sign? These ice corpses are excessive.
Yes, but look at them. The artistry is sublime. Can you imagine having enough finesse to make all this?
I can't imagine wanting to. If you gotta deal with an archmage to stop the Dream Scourge, so be it. But be careful with this Ringworm character. This place has given me a bad feeling I can't shake.
A spell. And a very clever one. Ringrim's using her illusions to make people choose to stay away. Everyone except us. Of course I probably can. All spells have a counter. You just have to know what it is. But we can figure that out later. Right now, we have to focus on what's at the end of that passage. Precisely. Chances are we'll die. But if we don't, we stop Ludwig and get into the ruins. So, win-win.
Yardsley, you must have been a Rowatayan admiral in a past life.
Let's get going. Oh, and stay close. These are so lifelike. Poor bastards. Child's play.
I was prepared for heat, sandstorms, monsters. Not this.
Stay close. Ringrim's trying to scare us. Whew. What a frosty welcome. I'm covered in fur and even I'm freezing. Are her illusions really so powerful? It's just a trick, Envoy. A well-crafted cold trick. Keep moving. Beautiful specimen. Any student of Zarub's and their weaponry is thrilled.
Visitors, do you know what this moment calls for? A beautiful, macabre story that lingers in the mind. You wish to find me in my tower? You'll have to wait until I tell this tale.
We gotta get into that tower? I hope Yardsley brought her ladder.
There's got to be a way. Let's snoop around.
Land shaped in the dreamer's image, not with stone or axe, but with essence. Songs of ancient magic. Could we sing to them?
Walk like it's hard.
Once, a very important statue fell to pieces, and an entire village perished because it wouldn't put the statue back together again.
Skeletons. Now this I can handle.
On your right, dear. Oh, that's hot. I'm done.
Looking so good.
Child's play.
Once, a very important statue fell to pieces, and an entire village perished because it wouldn't put the statue back together again.
Skeletons. Now this I can handle.
On your right, dear.
To your left. Perk up, Wanda. One for you!
The envoy needs healing. Need a breath.
Nice shot! Back in the fight. You okay?
It burns! It burns!
Right this way. Onward, watch your left.
Coming from the rear.
him as a show-off.
We make a good squad.
That's done. Look, it's hard. That's done. Child's play.
Watch the left. Unravel.
Get it together.
Look up on it.
and wrath! In your sake! Birth and wrath! The village wanted so badly to do the right thing.
You're here for my Adra piece, aren't you? You can't have it!
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too, dearie.
I'll die without the Adra. Please, don't take it from me. I don't want to die. I don't remember anymore. I was in pain for so terribly long. But the Adra has kept me alive. Don't let them take it away. The other villagers, they want me to give them the Adra piece. They say it'll save us. But if they take it, I'll die. And I don't want to die. Please.
Either they're not really here, or we're not.
I was dying before I found the Adra piece, but it's been keeping me alive. I can't go far from it. If I do, it begins to hurt again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wait. I hear screaming. No. What's happening to the village? Everyone's sick. Oh, gods. No. It's too late. It's far too late. We're doomed. What have I done?
And because the village would not put this...
That poor man. Was he a real person once? Did all that happen to him?
And why force us to make that choice? Why the cruelty?
Archmagi truly are inscrutable creatures, aren't they?
Looks like that piece you found fits in this statue.
This must be the statue mentioned in the story. Let's check around here once more. Maybe we can find something that'll give us a hint. Oh, and Ringgrim left us a book. Let's see what it says. There once stood a village protected by a statue. It kept the air crisp, the land fertile, and the people safe. For a time, the village prospered. For a time, there was the thought that the winter would never come. But then the statue shattered, and winter did come, and the village could not make a decision to save itself. That's the gist of it, yes. But the author said it better. First things first, let's get those statue pieces.
Keep your eyes open and your hand on your hilt. Nothing about this place feels right.
Birth and wrath!
Time to rally.
Isos!
Next one's mine!
Everyone okay?
Walk like it's hard.
The village was on the verge of destruction, but still they argued.
How interesting. The way it's sculpted, it's like he's reaching out or begging.
This is how ghost stories start.
Oh, don't fret. It'll all be worth it.
Mangled statues and bitter fables. None of this comes from a healthy mind. Or soul.
I'm sure they go somewhere. Let's go see where.
Sometimes cold reason is necessary.
Now that we've gotten to the heart of the matter, I believe that's everything.
Keep your guard up. Let's get this over with.
It's the lesson rather than the authenticity of the story that matters, I guess. We've got all the pieces. Quick, quick, put them in. Oh, I want to see how all of this works. And off we go.
Here goes. Whatever happens, I hope it leaves our parts intact.
We're going into an Archmage's town. It'll all be fine. Or at least exciting.
Oh, you made it. Unfortunately, I still have reading to do. Amuse yourself with these skeletons while I finish this paragraph.
So much for hospitality.
so good. Coming from your right. Next one's mine. On your right. Another down. You okay?
Oh, look at the three of you. It's like something out of a book. A godlike of an unknown deity, a long-lost Rawatayan, and a rainbow-colored wizard. All looking for a garden, from what I've gleaned.
It is her. We felt the pluck of her fingers outside our door, searching. For us? Our prison? Who is she? What does she seek?
My little puzzle was very clever, wasn't it? A challenge and a parable all at once.
Where I'm from, hospitality usually involves a mug of cold ale and a plate of warm cookies.
I needed you to understand me, yourself, and the gravity of our collective situation. Well, your situation. I'm mostly just an interested observer. I've never seen a godlike with your appearance before. What did you think I was trying to tell you with the puzzle? Spoken like a war criminal. Well done. Yes, when there is a tectonic shift in history, people always die. The point of the parable is quite simple. Sentimentality is a privilege. The village would have lived if they had chosen to sacrifice one dying soul for the good of many living ones. I hardly know, honestly. When you've lived as long as I have, it's easy to lose track of individual lives. More than anything, the whole challenge was for you to understand how I think. No one truly matters in the long run. Not even me, or the other archmages. It's what we leave behind. What matters is that our lives buy the world more history, more beauty, more time to create interesting things. Do you understand? For conversation with me, primarily. Most people find it difficult to relate to an archmage. And if you cannot do so, it will complicate my attempts to communicate with you. I hope you're not intending to enter the ruins. I won't open the path. And has been for some time. That is why I am here. I came to the Living Lands because the sickness here, this dream scourge, fascinated me. This plague shouldn't exist. It can't. And yet, it does. The essence of the Living Lands is falling into chaos and entropy. It's more powerful than anything I've seen. I suspect it has something to do with how the Adra has been severed from the rest of the world. I believe the answers lie in the ruins, but the essence there is so strong it's blocking my spell work, which has never happened before. Ever. No one enters Naku Kubel until I get to the bottom of this. Sorry. Curiouser and curiouser. What is so special about you, godlike? You have my interest. Show me if you live up to it. Are you? Oh my. I didn't think this was possible. Something I don't already know. I can't believe I overlooked this possibility. A god here, alone, trapped in the severed Adra. This explains so much. My magic being ineffective, the essence here being so intense. And you, godlike, with your unfamiliar appearance. You're the missing key to the lock, sealing Naku Kubel. Don't take this the wrong way, but in a different life, I'd have flayed you for my study. You are a godlike of this strange, isolated, possibly miserable god. A piece of them resides in you. I have no doubt that like will recognize like. You will open the gates to Naku Kubel, and I will study this metaphysical aberration up close. Go. Find your so-called garden. Report your findings to me. Perhaps there is more to this than either of us alone can see. My thanks in return, godlike. It's not often that Kith, or really anything at all, can surprise me. I wish you luck on your journey, if you believe in such things. Just keep in mind that countless dream thralls are on the same path. I'm sure you'll survive. If not, well, lovely to have met you. Let's hope you remain unscathed. And you, Orlan, you seem a clever one. Take my grimoire. It will allow you to dispel the barrier I have set before the ruins. You have talent. Not any mage can dispel my illusions. Perhaps when this is over, we should speak again.
You want to speak again? Yeah, of course. Can't wait.
Look at her. Making new friends, learning new spells. They grow up so fast.
The ruins are far in the northwest. The people here have named that area the Deadfall Highlands. No more wasting time. Off you go. Use the teleporter behind me to leave. Or jump, I suppose, if you're feeling grim.
Off we go. Did just happen, right? I didn't imagine it. Reingrim liked me? And my spellcraft! And she gave me her grimoire. Look, isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? We cut it close, but it paid off. With Reingrim's grimoire, I think we can go to the ruins and find the garden.
And as long as nothing's burning, we're still ahead of Ludwig.
Then there's no time to waste. I must prepare for Naku Kubel. As must you.
Never thought I'd be so relieved to head into ancient ruins. Nothing stopping me! Another win, but who's counting? You figure this is the homestead Nagunu told us about?
Holy gods! Someone actually came! Please, you have to help my friends! They're gods! They're monsters! They were good people. And I can't, I'm not... Their souls can't rest like this, and I'm not strong enough to put them down myself. Please, they didn't deserve... They were... My gods. How did this happen? Yes! Helia on high, that's exactly what I need. Thank you. You're a good person. You'll be better than me. Find me when it's over.
These poor people. Let's end their suffering quickly.
Trespassers! Who goes there? Fear in the eye! Party in the brush!
I couldn't do anything. I'm gods. I'm useless. But you helped them. They can rest now. How did you find us? What are you doing out here? We left the city. The Dream Scourge. We thought if we only got away. And now they're gone. Who are you? What do you want with me? Thirdborn? It wasn't safe here. Why would it be safe in... Wait. Old Nagunu? But I thought he wanted us dead. I don't understand. Are the others... Are they alive? Yeah, he would. He always trusted the captain. They were close. He doesn't act bright, but Taue, he's canny. Something's going on.
Only one way to find out.
Maybe it's time to stop. Stop running. Stop hiding. Turn and face things. Face Nagunu. All right. I'll go. I'll go to Thirdborn. As soon as I can find the courage.
You've got people looking out for you. Take courage in that.
Thank you all. I'll try.
You do that. But remember, you've got friends waiting for you.
supplies for... Hello there, fellow traveler. I don't believe we've met. I've come far to be here, and picked up some odds and ends during my journey.